Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I just want to deal with church finances. I want to speak about church finances and how to manage church finances today. And this is a very important subject. I'm sure you would understand that church finances are actually public money. Church finances belong to the people. And therefore, it is very important that they are managed in a very prudent manner. And many of the churches see their attendances going low, and many of the people don't come into church anymore purely because of poor management of church finances. And that's the reason that we have seen it very important to mention and to speak about this topic, because it's a very important topic that we need to look at. Now, managing church finances is actually coming from a very, very ethical mental approach, whereby somebody understands that the monies that are belonging to the people need to be taken care of, because people give their heart and monies for the purpose of running the church and also supporting the vision at hand. And that's the reason why we need to emphasize and keep on teaching about these particular topics, because it's very important to do so. Now, the first thing that I want you to realize as a leader of a church, when you want to manage church finances properly, is to appoint trustworthy people at the point of collecting the offering, at the point of collecting and counting the tithes and offerings as well. Because at that point, that is where it is crucial actually to get people that are trustworthy. And I must really say this statement, which may sound a bit more awkward for the church, that there are people that are there intentionally taking the money of the church at this particular point. There are people that are planning actually to take the money at the point of the basket, when the basket goes around and so on, and the money is taken from that particular point. And we have seen several times the people being caught by elders and leaders while actually helping themselves with the money at the basket level. And that's very important that we are aware of that, because sometimes we think that everybody in church have come with good intention, everybody in church is like an angel, but money is tempting, and majority of the people that are lacking finances do help themselves with church money as well. And that must be taken to cognizance, and we must be aware that it is happening at the point of collecting the money from the basket. Now, secondly, I want to mention the fact that you need to appoint people of high level integrity at the level of financial board. Because remember that we have taught in the past, and that it is very important that when you are having what we call a board members, you're having the elders that are supporting the vision, you must have what we call a financial board as well. These are a group of people that are managing the finances of the church at the level of administration. This is very important then, that you have this particular team, but this particular team is not just everybody. It should be somebody who's having integrity, people that are actually having good track record about managing money. Very, very important, because these are the people that are having good character and good report, actually. People that you can trust, that they can actually manage the money without taking it, without putting their hands in the cookie jar. It's very important that we speak about that, though it relates to a church, but we cannot just feel that everybody in church should be reasonable enough not to take money. Money is tempting, as I've said, and we have seen people that are church people that will still take the money despite of. And also, as we are mentioning leaders here, you cannot just say because somebody's a leader, therefore they are taking care of the money. Very, very important that we mention it, that not everyone will actually take care of the money. So that's very important that at the financial board level, you appoint people of integrity. Thirdly, the visionary needs to apply what we call an oversight in all the financial matters, all the financial decisions as well. Because where there's no oversight, corruption is clearly going to be there. And I must emphasize that when you're having what we call a financial board, you need actually the visionary to be somebody who's overseeing, somebody who's taking an oversight as well amongst the people. So therefore, even if it's just an oversight role of the visionary being part of whatever decision is taken regarding money. It must just be done. And I must emphasize that in most of the ministries that we have advised, it should be that the visionary is part of the financial board as well. They know the decisions because they are the ones who know that we need to be building a building or a church building. They are the very same people that need to know that we are paying staff members in the church, and the particular staff members that we do. There are projects maybe in the church that we need to be funneling money into. And that's very important that the visionary knows about that so that he or she can keep an oversight role or take an oversight role upon that so that they can be able to see what money is being used for. And that cannot just be ignored. And that's very key that we do that. So the visionary needs to apply an oversight in all financial decisions. Now, it is also very important to separate bank accounts for operational finances and the project finances as well. Remember that every church will be having its own project. It could be building project. It could be by this particular time a project, maybe because of it's a conference time or so on. But all these activities and projects are actually supposed to be financed differently from the day-to-day running of the ministry. So therefore, the church accounts should not be mixed up. They must be separated, because when the church accounts are not separated, you are going to overlap in usage of that money. And it may be that the money that's supposed to be running the church day to day is the one that is actually financing the church building, and vice versa. And that is a confusion, because you cannot keep proper records when you are not having proper bank accounts as well. And there are times when we would refer to the people to write what we call references as well of whether this project is a project money, whether this is a normal operational money. But not everyone writes the references. And that is why money will always be mixed up, and therefore cause confusion of how much money you have collected for projects and how much then do you need to use. And that's very important then, that bank accounts be separated so that people are not confused of which bank account to use. I'm emphasizing that because it's very important that we separate bank accounts. The other point that I want to just bring about is we need to separate church bank account from the visionary personal bank account as well. And in this regard, we have seen whereby everything in a particular church would be actually channeled to the bank account of the individual bank account of the pastor, individual bank account of the leader. And that is very disorganized to do so. It is actually something that should not happen, because that's the reason why we emphasize that the church should be a separate entity from a personal fiefdom of a particular leader. So therefore, even the visionary, when you are running a church, they should actually be totally independent in the sense of bank accounts. We cannot see monies going to individual. We cannot actually channel money to a family of the visionary. There must be a church account whereby the monies of the church becomes the monies of the church, and monies of the visionary becomes the monies of the visionary. Let them be separate. Let them never be cluttering together, because that causes confusion as a result. And they may actually cause confusion in the sense that people start accusing the visionary of stealing money, while you're having an honest and a very good visionary with a lot of integrity. But then, because monies are mixed up in the accounts, people may start actually blaming or even pointing fingers at the visionary and say they are taking money. And I want to emphasize that to protect the visionary, so please separate the accounts as well. Very important. Now, I want to also mention that you need to make clear distinction between business and assets belonging to the church and those that are belonging actually to the visionary as well. We're talking about the cars, the houses, the buses, maybe if you're having buses and so on. So let's separate them. Let them not be confused with the assets of the visionary. Let's not confuse them with personal belongings of the visionary, because that as well may cause a very big problem whereby people start accusing the visionary of stealing money and using money for their own personal gain. And that may not be so. It's just purely because it is not separated. It's not actually allocated properly. There's no records as well. So therefore, be careful of not mixing also the assets that belongs to the visionary and those that belongs to the church as well. That's very, very key and very important for us to emphasize that as well. Give at least a quarterly financial reports to the church members. Remember, this is their money. Remember, they are giving for the sake of supporting the vision. So therefore, they would love to know what happens to their money. They would love to know what their money has done. So therefore, it's very important that we emphasize that there must be reports, what we call financial reports. And that's very key. And I know many churches don't believe in this, but I want to tell you, you will thank me later if you start reporting, because the more you report, the more people feel responsible that you are accountable and responsible, and the more people want to give their money. And that is the reason why some of the churches don't see financial growth. Is purely because you don't give financial reports. If you don't report back about the monies of the people, you are therefore making them not to give, because they want to give their money, but yet they want to know exactly what their money is doing and what is it all about. Organize activities that are absolutely necessary for advancement of the vision, not just activities to eat up money, but this is very important that we emphasize that every activity that's being organized, whether it's a conference, a seminar, and so on, it must be to enhance the church. It must be to enhance the ministry progress. Otherwise, it is actually a waste of money. So avoid wasting money by just organizing activities that are not important. So therefore, to put them the activities on the list, look at them, prioritize them, and make a decision on which ones are enhancing the progress of the vision and those that can be excluded in the program of the year. This is very important. And that is why prioritization is very important, because if you don't prioritize, as I said, money will go just in the drain. That's very key that we mention that. Finally, I want to mention that you need to subject your financial books to accounting audits as well. So at least annually, at least once a year. So very important, get annual audits and expose your church finances to annual audits that will actually check and balances and show you whether you've actually wasted money, you have actually made use of the money very well, and that coming from an audit and you report it back to the church, as I said, it will actually enhance the growth of the church financially, because people will actually be ready to give. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. And I hope that this actually brings a light to you and your church, and that will help you as well. Plus, we have got these videos and teachings on YouTube channel, Micornus Phokane, YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, click notification button. Our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane and Church Governance Solutions. So please make sure that you like those pages as well. Click notification buttons. Don't forget our TikTok account as well, which is there handy for you. And I hope you'll join us as we deal with another topic tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you, and allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.